Hi, this is Lang with Easy Aquariums. I'm actually going to demonstrate today how to do a water change for pre-existing aquariums. Of course, this would apply to even if you have a new aquarium. By the time you get to about 2 weeks to 4 weeks on a 10-gallon, you're going to be ready to do an aquarium water change. So basically, the rule of thumb for, at least for guppies, is that you never change the entire water. Okay. As a matter of fact, that's a general rule for any aquarium that you have. But especially for guppies, they can't handle the change in environment, the dramatic change in environment. In this case, changing over 50% of the water is probably going to affect them in a major way. So I just kind of limited to about half a tank when I was siphoning the water, and this is basically all you need. You're gonna need a towel, just catch all the drips that you're gonna get, because I'm pretty messy, and I actually have a business doing this. So you're gonna need a scrubber, okay, and you're also gonna need this kit right here. This kit is pretty simple. It's probably about 10 bucks, probably no more than 15 bucks at Walmart. Okay, it's quite an ingenious thing. You use gravity to get the water. Before you do that, though, you'll need a pail. And if you look down, I have it on a trash can cover so that it catches the water too. That's just my way of doing it. You can have towels on there. First thing I like to do is I like to go ahead and scrub the glass. Okay, so these scrubbers come in two kinds. They do the glass scrubbers, which is the ones that will scrub the best, and they have the acrylics. The acrylics are softer. It takes a little more muscle. So what I do is I'm looking for, I don't know if this camera can pick up. Look for dots on here. These are like algae dots. Okay, this kind of culminate into your. Here's a good one right here. There's a bunch of dots right here. Okay, so that's what you want to do. All you do is you're erasing those things. So the scrubber is actually not doing a great job, but generally speaking, I look for those spots and I scrub those. Okay, and in about 2 weeks. They'll come back, but they're not going to come back as strong because I scrubbed them. Okay, so but at least I know the general area where they pick up. It's mostly because of your lighting, and of course, depending on how clean your water is too, will also determine how fast they grow back. Okay, so my water, if you can tell, it looks a little bit pink, and that's mostly from the food coloring. From what I feed them tetracolor, okay, which is high in protein, and I can squish them up in little pieces for. Yeah, that's what it is right there. Okay, so I'm about finished there. Easy enough. Now we're going to do the actual siphoning part of it. Okay, so this is the mouthpiece. It goes in here. This is the end. It goes into the bucket to catch the water. Okay, now let's go into the tank. What you want to do is you want to get the top here give enough water so that you got a reservoir right there. And you see the water going down? As soon as you see that going down, you want to go ahead and suck it in there. Okay? And here's what we have. So all we do, now the substrate, the bottom, the ground that I'm using, my guppy just got in there because they're curious and they want to be eaten, or they want to eat, not eaten. So what I do is I just kind of plug it up on the other end so it doesn't siphon anymore. And eventually they'll swim out. If you let it run, they tend to want to swim against the current, and that's how you know how you can get them out of there. So fish it's not just salmon or trout to like swim against currents. All fish like to do that. That's one of the great things about guppies, is that they don't hide. They just come out in the open no matter what's happening most of the time. Okay, which means you're gonna be able to see them. They're not gonna be hiding. You're gonna be always looking for them. So because my substrate, like I was saying, my substrate is so grainy. In this case, this is crushed coral, which is really light. I have to be careful that I don't suck the substrate out. The trick to doing this one is I kind of plug it up, and then all that nasty stuff comes out, and I siphon it, and I keep getting guppies in there, but that's okay. That's okay. What you're hearing dripping is my outside filter, and it's the bottom piece is pretty long, so it's still sucking water. I'm not too worried about that, but I'm getting close to where I can quit. So I'm going to quit here, and look at all the fish that like to be in there. Okay, so now the tank is not going to look like crystal clear at first, but that's going to clear up once we fill it back up, and once we just let it run for, well, for 10 gallon, probably take about 20-30 minutes, and it'll just clear up again. Okay, so once I dumped the water, the aged water, the dirty water away, now I'm going to add water, just basically from the tap. Got my same pail that I dumped out. I'm just going to use my bath. This is my kid's bath, but just as well. We're going to add, we're just going to let it run. And while it's running, we're going to take this chlorine remover. It's called Aquarium, professional grade, single phase. It takes away ammonia, chlorine, and chloramine. Do it all at once. And it's instantaneous. So I have samples of that in here. Doesn't take much for that. Takes just a little bit. That's almost too much. But it's okay to overdo it. It doesn't hurt for that. It's just when you underdo it, then that could be your problem. So that should be enough. While it's running, it's dechlorinating. Basically, it turns into a gas and it escapes. Okay, so once this thing gets pretty high, I'm just going to turn it off. Wait a little longer. Okay, so I like to use cold water. It's fine. Okay, cold water is the best way to go. Don't use warm water because fish are naturally, you know, they're cold-blooded. So let's do it. Okay, so we're back at the aquarium. Remember, it's about halfway full. What I like to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove this lamp, make it go sideways so I can actually pour it in. I don't like to pour in directly, so what I do is I pour it onto the filter, let it splash a little bit. That way it can dissipate the amount of turbulence I'm putting in there. My healthy plants help dissipate the water too as well. And I just keep pouring. Yeah, that's pretty close. So that's pretty much it. Once you get that level, I didn't even have to turn off my outside filter, which is kind of nice because that could be a pain if you're trying to find where to plug it and everything. So you let that run. It's basically finished. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of it.